In this backcountry report, let's look at snow in the west, and we do see snow through Cold Lake continuing this morning. Saskatoon about 3 to 5 centimeters through your morning, a little bit more into the evening hours. A few centimeters in Regina and 5 centimeters on the way for you in Calgary through the day today. So I'm not looking at heavy amounts for the major cities, but certainly around Cold Lake and north of the Inner Lake region. We have seen snowfall warnings in place, so that's where the heavier amounts are. These are unofficial snowfall totals so far. Here's a look at Friday. If you're flying to the Bahamas, then Toronto's going to be 3 degrees with showers. St. John's -6. Out west, we've got Calgary at -13. So you might want to get away from the cold. If you're traveling through to the Bahamas into any of these major U.S. cities, a look at Chicago with some rain, and Nashville also seeing some rain showers. By Friday, we've got NASA getting up to 23 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Looks pretty spectacular to me. And then over towards Havana, 29 on Friday. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. No hat today. Spectacular. Not too bad to get out there. But we do have some snow in Ontario around Sudbury and Sault Ste. Marie, a swath that will bring you a bit of a coating, so you might have to dust that off the car. And through the St. Lawrence Seaway, we're seeing some light snow flurries as well. Heavier as we look towards the west, with Saskatoon and Regina seeing some snow today, and Winnipeg as well by the end of the day. So this is our steady snow in Ontario. Things get a little bit more complicated as we head into tomorrow. But for this afternoon, Toronto will be 3 degrees, Ottawa -2. Let's head to Nathan Coleman, who's joining us in Nova Scotia. How are you doing, Nathan? Thanks for joining us. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic. Looking at this weekend, things are going to get pretty interesting across Ontario towards the east. We were showing you the cold air returning, and for Friday, temperatures are going to be a lot warmer than when we look at Sunday. So starting to see that jet really sink south. For example, Thunder Bay on Friday, -2. By Sunday, you'll be -14. Places like Toronto on Saturday, you're going to be 6 degrees. Then into next week, we're looking at snow. But let's first talk about what's happening with a couple of pulses of moisture we have coming into Ontario here. We've got Sault Ste. Marie to Sudbury, seeing some light snow through today, coating some roads, coating your cars certainly. But then we've got this Texas low coming up, and it's bringing rain all the way from Windsor to Toronto into places like Collingwood this weekend, unfortunately for the ski hills. We've got Ottawa and Montreal starting as snow tomorrow, changing over to rain into your Sunday, and could be heavy at times. A Saturday night into Sunday, pretty soggy in the Greater Toronto area as well as Ottawa and Montreal. Then we get the cooler air rushing in, and Monday into Tuesday, we're looking at some snow. It tracks east into the Maritime provinces, so for the next couple of days, enjoy the quiet weather because Sunday night, we're looking at very strong winds. Halifax, for example, we're going to see the red coming into your zone through Monday. Gusts could reach up to 100 kilometers an hour. More details on this storm and next week's situation as well. All right, so the word winter comes to mind when you look at places like Calgary. Feels like -18 right now, snow falling through the day. Winnipeg feels like a brisk -20, and then we look to Halifax -5 for you this morning. An improvement, but where it's a lot warmer is Scottsdale, Arizona, where we find Deb Miniechka this week. All right, so while Deb's having fun in Arizona, we have this to talk about. Rain and snowstorms ahead for the east. Frigid football weather. We'll take you to the forecast for a Sunday game. And snow removal controversy. Suzanne Leonard joins us on the show talking about one company that's not quite doing their job right in Ontario. The roads aren't quite safe. Looking at this, Halifax, take a look at your numbers here. As we look to Sunday, things start to get cloudy. Rain starts to push in, and the winds really ramp up. The red, gusts possibly up to 100 kilometers an hour as we head into Monday, then it moves into Newfoundland. Chris Murphy joining us with more details on how next week looks quite different.
All right, yeah, we have...
It's Share Your Weather time. Keep sending those photos to see it on our morning show. Weekday mornings, you can send them to my Twitter account at Nicole Karkic. This photo I'm going to show you first up was actually sent to our Facebook account, the Weather Network's account. It's in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Terrence sent this in. You can see that fox. He looks like he's up to no good. Snow on the ground and more snow falling today in Winnipeg. Later into the evening, we'll see about 1 centimeter of snow for the Winnipeg area. And temperatures this afternoon getting up to -8. Our seasonal average is -13 for the daytime high. So not doing too bad in terms of those temperatures. But by Sunday morning, Winnipeg and a lot of areas in the prairies, it'll feel closer to -30 with the wind chill. So that's Sunday morning for you. So cold air coming towards the prairies. So this photo, backed by popular demand, this is a very popular video on our website, theweathernetwork.com. You can find details on, well, why Murphy loves this, Murph in a blanket. That's our hashtag for this. But also an explanation as to how this sort of appearance happened on this roof in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Taking you next to Erin, Ontario. Liz sent this in. I love this. You can see the ice crystal formation, and ice crystals form different types of shapes depending on environmental conditions, and you can see here this shape looks pretty cool. This one in Toronto, Ontario, also you can see what's happening in nature can be really quite beautiful even in the cold. Right now, your locals on the 6s. All right, go Deb, go. Looking at our satellite and radar here across Canada, not in sunny Arizona. We've got some snow across Sudbury and Sault Ste. Marie this morning. Fairly light for now. Gets heavier into tomorrow. Gulf St. Lawrence also seeing some flurries, but the more active weather really is in the west, where we still have some snowfall warnings in place through parts of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Currently, -10 in Calgary. Toronto's -3, and then we go over to Halifax, where it's -4. Nathan Coleman is joining us this morning. The sun is out, Nathan, and it's definitely warmer than it was earlier this week for you out there. Yeah, certainly. It's going to be easy to get around for the next couple of days across the Maritime provinces. Deer Lake and Corner Brook seeing some snow this morning. St. John's -2, but overall fairly quiet. Also quiet outside of our Oakville studios, where we find Kevin Yard. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Yeah, not too bad. Kevin's not even wearing a hat, but we do have some snow falling in northern Ontario around Sudbury and Sault Ste. Marie, coating on the ground in your car. Not too heavy, though, through the days. Gulf of St. Lawrence, also some light snow, and around Corner Brook and Deer Lake snow, and snow in the prairie provinces as well. There are some snowfall warnings in place around central Saskatchewan and Manitoba for today. And then this is the steady snow that continues to fall. Much more steady rain and snow as we head into tomorrow, though. But for the afternoon, enjoy +3 in Toronto if you want to go for a nice walk. And towards Ottawa, you'll be -2 with some cloud cover. Must-see video. Good morning. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic. How's this for a long winter day? Calgary, 5 centimeters of snow, feeling like -17 this morning. You've seen worse, I know, but it's certainly a chilly start. Towards the east, a little bit warmer. -3 in Toronto, Halifax -4, and St. John's -9 is what it feels like with the wind chill. Feels a lot warmer as we head to Scottsdale, Arizona, where Deb Mediechka is spending time this week.
Be sure to keep it tuned in here to see where we go next.
All right, beautiful and dry for the rest of the week in Scottsdale. Developing stories, rain and snow and storms ahead for us in the east. We've got frigid football weather to talk about and snow removal controversy. Suzanne Leonard has joined us already this morning talking about one company that is stirring up some problems because they didn't do their job quite right in Ontario clearing the roads recently. Looking at this, notice Halifax and Yarmouth, for example. As we head into Sunday, winds are starting to pick up. We're going to see rain spread across the Maritimes, a little bit of rain and snow in New Brunswick, but then 100-kilometer-an-hour winds possibly into Monday for the east, so it'll be quite blustery. Before then, easygoing. Chris Murphy joins us now with a look at the west. All right, good luck, Deb. Spending time in Arizona, not a bad gig. We've got a lot of snow to talk about. Not very heavy through the St. Lawrence Seaway or in northern Ontario around Sault Ste. Marie towards Sudbury, but a different story in the west. Calgary, 5 centimeters today, and through parts of Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, up to 10 centimeters, and parts of Manitoba will see some snow as well through the day. Looking at our current temperatures, it's certainly cold in the west. In the east, not doing too bad. -4 in Toronto, -6 in Montreal, and St. John's is -3. By contrast, though, -10 in Calgary. That's a yikes. Kevin Yard is joining us outside of our Oakville studios today. Kevin, I love that you're not wearing a hat. It means that I can go for a nice long walk and not be too cold.
Yeah, no.
That's right. So not too bad. You can get outside and enjoy also the sunshine in parts of southern Ontario. By 4 p.m., Toronto's going to be +2, Ottawa -2, Sudbury even around the freezing mark. But don't worry if you want to hit up the ski hills. We get cold into next week, even colder as we head into the weekend. We're looking at 8 p.m. dropping down to around the freezing mark. Here's snow making its way through northern Ontario for now. Rain comes into southern Ontario tomorrow.
Nice seeing the snow on the ground. -7 going up to about -2 in the area. -6 right now in Montreal, -3 in Teo.
But it looks like winter here across the west.
Yes.
Calgary, -10. We're going to see some snow continuing to spread across Saskatchewan and Manitoba as the day goes on. And Saskatoon, -10.
Yeah, could see up to 10 centimeters in Saskatoon, 5 centimeters in Calgary. So certainly impacting the morning drive. And then, Nicole, we're going to see a little bit of an interesting scenario unfolding across the east.
Yeah, so you thought that Monday was cold in Ontario. We're getting extending back into that next week as temperatures start to fall. The jet starts to dip as the weekend approaches, and then the system starts to track east. It'll be rain predominantly through the maritime provinces, but Chris, big story will be the winds.
Yeah, this is primarily on Monday in terms of late Sunday and Monday, the rain. And look, I'm just going to pause it here Monday early afternoon, and some of the models want to put the winds for coastal areas up around 100 kilometers per hour. So that means those nice sweat and wreck house winds are going to absolutely whistle on Monday.
Exactly. Then it shifts into Newfoundland. For today, light snow falling through Sault Ste. Marie and Sudbury. And then tomorrow, this is going to be a mess. We've got some rain moving into Windsor, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, changing over to rain. And just another push of moisture as well to end off the weekend.
Yeah, we could see a multi-day lake effect snow squall extravaganza next week.
It's closer than you think.
Here's a look at Friday. If you're flying to the Bahamas, then Toronto's going to be 3 degrees with showers. St. John's -6. Out west, we've got Calgary at -13. So you might want to get away from the cold. If you're traveling through to the Bahamas into any of these major U.S. cities, a look at Chicago with some rain, and Nashville also seeing some rain showers. By Friday, we've got NASA getting up to 23 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Looks pretty spectacular to me. And then over towards Havana, 29 on Friday. So that's Sunday morning for you. So cold air coming towards the prairies. So this photo, backed by popular demand, this is a very popular video on our website, theweathernetwork.com. You can find details on, well, why Murphy loves this, Murph in a blanket. That's our hashtag for this. But also an explanation as to how this sort of appearance happened on this roof in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Taking you next to Erin, Ontario. Liz sent this in. I love this. You can see the ice crystal formation, and ice crystals form different types of shapes depending on environmental conditions, and you can see here this shape looks pretty cool. This one in Toronto, Ontario, also you can see what's happening in nature can be really quite beautiful even in the cold. Right now, your locals on the 6s.